So I honestly don't think it's ever been this bad for Jack Doherty. He's currently receiving the most hate of his whole career, and I'm positive that nothing will be able to make it better. Everyone knows that over the past few months, Jack's found himself in the most controversy of his whole career, mainly revolving around his ex-girlfriend McKinley Richardson, who would expose Jack for some of the most heinous things possible. This would lead to so many hate comments, I don't think there's an ounce of positivity on his entire channel. And it's not just people who were insulting him. Basically everyone has been spamming justice for McKinley on every single post on all of his platforms. Now, I've already covered the first part of the McKinley interview on another video, but part 2 was way longer and even more insane. Again, I do also want to give a trigger warning. This is some pretty sensitive stuff, so viewer discretion is advised. But without further ado, subscribe to join the Yacht Club, like the video, and let's talk about it. Now, in the previous video that McKinley exposed Jack Doherty, she would go through the initial story of meeting him with minimal details of what actually happened during that time. However, in part 2, things would get a lot more personal. She would show private videos and text messages between her and Jack from the lowest points of their relationship. Jack would constantly be yelling at her for the simplest reasons, and in some scenarios would even put his hands on her for not doing exactly what he says.
You make my life harder, I'm sorry. It's like, I have to carry you through life, and it's like, you're my girlfriend. I have things I have to do every day, so you're supposed to help me through it. You used to be so helpful with it. You should make your own videos all day long, and I was able to do my own thing, help everyone else with their stuff. I have to just help me and you now. It's a me and you game now. It's a full-time job.
I want to do that though.
So why don't you do it? Like what's stopping you? I get my shit done every day. I post every day. I stream every day. I can't rely on you guys every day. That's why I do my own thing.
And
no good morning?
No good morning.
Oh, okay.
No, it was, do you see what time it is? And I was like, yeah, I'm about to get up. I'm sorry. I didn't feel good. I was really tired. He was like, look at you. He's like, you can't even do basic fucking things like wake up at 8 a.m. He's like, I am who I am surrounding myself with, and it's you, and I'm turning into you, and it's horrible. You're a lazy, useless piece of shit.
It became clear after this point that Jack wasn't only using manipulation tactics on McKinley, it was borderline emotional abuse. If we're being honest, Jack really didn't have to yell at McKinley in this situation, especially enough to make her cry. If he actually loved and cared about her, he would have sat down and talked to her about it, but he didn't. He decided to yell at her to the point where she broke down in tears, and unfortunately, things were only going to get much worse, as McKinley would describe an instance that would happen after she talked back to Jack in a particular way, and this is when she realized she was in a lot of trouble.
I remember all I said to him was, if I'm so fucking useless, then why do you take all my money? That's all I said. And that enraged him. He was furious. He stormed over to me. He was like, you stupid fucking He's like, you're not grateful for shit. He was like, I should have never given you a fucking chance. And I'm brushing my teeth. I'm crying. There are tears coming down my face. And he comes right here and he's like, you're a stupid fucking spitting on me. He literally, I could feel the fucking spit come off of his mouth because of how close he was to my face, screaming in my ear. And he pushes me as hard as he can into the wall. And I caught myself in my arm, which I have a picture of the bruise from the day after. He pushes me and I caught myself, and he told me, he was like, oh, you flopped. He's like, stop flopping. I was like, I did not flop. I said, don't you ever fucking put your hands on me. Ever. Ever. And he was like, I didn't fucking put my hands on you. You flopped. He was like, I don't give a fuck. You flopped. So I walked outside to the outside balcony after. But before I could even like do anything or text my parents, he came outside and he was like, you're just so annoying like to deal with. I'm trying so hard not to punch you in the fucking face. I'm trying so fucking hard. It's taking everything in me not to fucking punch you in the stupid face. And he's grabbing his fist. He's red as fuck. His eye, it was not the normal Jack I was so used to. It was so like completely different. And I was terrified in that moment. I was so scared. I didn't know if he was about to beat the shit out of me. We had guns. He would always make jokes and say like, I'm like, should we just ourselves? Like, I'll just you, I'll me, like just ourselves. I didn't know. He was so enraged. I didn't know what he was capable of, so I just knew I needed to leave the situation. I needed to get out.
Now, this allegation is absolutely insane, and I obviously have to say it's an allegation for legal reasons, but I do believe that Jack would do something like this. We have to remember who Jack is, the stuff he's done in the past, and the things that he's currently doing. Not only is Jack a drug addict, but he's also the worst version of a public nuisance. Someone who goes up to random people on the street and threatens to be violent with them. Knowing this, acting this way towards McKinley just seems like something Jack would do, and knowing the people who surround him, no one would probably even care. And even if they did care, they'd be too scared to call Jack out for it. In fact, McKinley would even state that at one point she began feeling sick, so she would go on to get a pregnancy test and it would come back positive twice. Even though she was obviously mortified to be pregnant with this person's baby, Jack would be more excited about making a family YouTube channel and farming his newborn for views.
I ordered the pregnancy test, I took it, and I set it aside. I'm like, you know what, I don't think this is why I feel this way. I'm really hoping it's not. I wasn't expecting anything, and it was positive. And in that moment, I realized, like, wow, like, not only, I wasn't preparing myself for this, but with where we're at in our relationship and how I feel and, like, how he treats me, like, that's all that came to my mind. It was no happy thought at all. But I was terrified, and I had another pregnancy test, and I was like, surely to goodness it was a false one. Like, let me take another one. I took another one, and instantly positive. I was like, wow, like, it's real. Like, this is real. My life is over. Like, that's all I was thinking. I was like, my life is done. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. My parents are going to kill me. I even felt bad for, even just the fact that I had that, and I'm, actively taking Adderall. I was actively drinking. I was like, I had no idea. I go downstairs, and Jack is outside, and I was like, Jack, I need to talk to you. And I told him, and he didn't seem surprised whatsoever. He was like, W. He literally was excited over the fact that we were going to make the most money we have ever made in our lives. It wasn't because he was excited to have a baby with me and have a family and start a new era of our life. It was, oh my gosh, we're going to start a family YouTube channel, and you're going to make so much money when you're pregnant and you have a pregnant belly. And I remember looking at him, and I was like, Jack, you do not realize if this is happening, I'm done. I'm not doing OnlyFans. I'm not doing that. And I don't want to be on social media, and we need to change our lives. Like, here we are, we're living in this house. There's drugs. There's random people coming into our house all the time. It's not safe. What he does for a living, like, he streams, he's always in chaos. I was like, there needs to be some sort of lifestyle change. Like, I don't know if you're ready for that. And he was like, it doesn't have to be a lifestyle change. Like, people have babies when they're broke. Like, we're good. Like, we're going to make so much more money when we have a baby. So, he's excited about it. I'm still terrified, but in this moment, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have it. Like, there's really nothing I can do about it. He seems excited, so I was like, well, maybe I'll see a different side of him and he'll step up, and, like, this will be the time I actually see Jack become a man and, like, respect me, and maybe this is the answer. He ends up going to the club, and he was, making jokes about how he wanted to cheat on me, and now that I'm pregnant and can't do anything, that this is his time to get another bitch pregnant. That way he can keep me and keep her and just have me be there, because no one would fuck with me if I had Jack Doherty's baby. That's what he would say to me. So while he's saying these things to me, and I'm already, going through how I feel about the situation already, I'm like, this is a horrible situation to be in. He's trapping me. He's literally telling me that as soon as I have a baby, he's going to move on from me and try to have a baby with somebody else, and I'm just there.
Now, as you could imagine, things would only go on to get worse from this point. Jack and his friends would actively do drugs in front of McKinley, and obviously she didn't want to because she's pregnant. Not to mention the obvious emotional and physical abuse he puts her through on a daily basis. She obviously wouldn't end up going through with the pregnancy, however, that would only make things worse for her. The manipulation tactics Jack used throughout their entire relationship were worse than we all imagined, as McKinley would also leak screenshots from a situation of Jack lying blackout drunk on a casino floor, guilt-tripping her after they got in a major argument.
He FaceTimed me randomly without talking to me about, what had happened. He just FaceTimes me like nothing's wrong. He's drunk on the casino floor. I texted him, I said, "I'm packing up my stuff now. Have fun. I'm going home." He goes, "No, why can't you answer my calls? You make me so sad." And I said, "You make me so sad." He said, "I don't want to make you sad. I want to make you happy. Please don't leave. I'm so sad I lost you and I just lost 10K. Please love me." I said, "You're totally fine." Then he said, "Can you answer, please? I'm not live. I just love you. I'm by myself." I said, "Jack, you're drunk on the casino floor." He said, "Please answer me. I'm by myself." I end up calling him. He's not by himself. He lied to me. And then Bryce, he was with Bryce Hall. Bryce was like, "Are you still mad at him?" So he had literally been talking about how I was upset with him over something he caused, created, and he was making jokes about. He was making jokes about how we got a divorce the day we got married, and people knew we were fighting. So I was like, "That's so crazy. I'm struggling so much. Why don't you see it? You don't love me." I said, "You always say you wish I was the girl you met in the beginning, and what you fail to realize is that you created how I am from that point forward. There's not a single thing I have changed about myself other than constantly begging for respect and love from you, which is the bare minimum from any relationship. You disrespect me constantly. You disrespect my family. You disrespect my opinions. You disrespect my time and my feelings. How am I supposed to feel the love you claim to have and feel for me while you do those things? You are so right. I don't want to argue anymore. There is absolutely nothing I can do to be better in your eyes, and what I can't get over is even though I gave you 99.9% and left myself with nothing, you never saw it. I wanted to see if you could prove something to me today, and sadly I'm just disappointed again, and I'm not fighting with you. I never want to, and you knew that for me in the beginning. I sat here by myself for hours and hours holding on to hope I just don't feel like is even there. My 100% might not be your 100%. You have to understand that no matter how much money you have, or views you get, or other things you want in your life that I apparently failed to give you, my 100% was so genuine and so innocent. Imagine how you would feel in my shoes for a second. Imagine doing all of that for someone who can't even see it. That's all I gotta say at this point. I'm not fighting for anything anymore, and I have accepted everything moving forward. I finally got it and understood like how you always wanted me to. Please be safe. I left your betting slip on the table. Hope you're having fun." He goes, "McKinley, no, I love you so much. Please stop. I love you more than anything. I'm coming back right now. I'm not having fun." So I ended up staying. He came back, and I had never seen this side of Jack before. And this was the night I fell in love with him all over again. It was a new side of Jack that I had never seen before. It was everything I needed, the validation. He was in tears, sobbing uncontrollably, and by this time I had never seen him cry. That's something I don't crave out of him. I don't need you to cry for you to care about me, but he was crying at the fact of the possibility of losing me. He was like, "I don't think you realize like what I've realized these past 24 hours of not hearing from you and not being there is that you matter. Nothing matters. Nothing in this world matters. Money, views, nothing. I need you in my life. I would myself if I lost you." He told me that, and I was just like, wow, like, I mean, we just have to come to an agreement. Like, you can't speak to me and say these things and do these things and be extremely disrespectful and me just, let it happen. Like, I want you to respect me.
In the end, it seems like things would just never get better in this situation, as they would ultimately end up breaking up once again, as we all know. And now we have McKinley speaking about her entire experience with Jack Doherty. Now Jack's receiving the most hate of all time on his channel, and this is likely something that he's never going to be able to escape. But anyways, guys, hashtag justice for McKinley. Subscribe right now to join the Yacht Club, like the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. It's been your boy Janky, and I'm out. Peace.